Morning, everybody. Today in maths, we're going to carry on with our subtraction, but I'm going to give you a real test now. We have done taking away ones, taking away tens, taking away any two-digit number. We've used all of that knowledge to solve problems, and we've even had to go at regrouping. So to really see if you've got this now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a mixture of problems to solve, and some of them are going to be addition and some of them are going to be subtraction. You're going to have to read over the word problems to see if you can work out which one they are. So I'm going to share my screen so that I can share one of the problems that I'm going to give to you, which is, bear with me, children. There we go. Right, so you can see my problems here. So the first one, in fact, actually we did a marbles one yesterday. So I think I'll look at the next one where it says, Miss Eckett baked 45 cupcakes. She ate 13 of them. So how many cupcakes did she have left? Well, I can see from that I had 45 cakes, but then I ate some. So if I ate some, that must mean that I'm going to have less cakes at the end of it. So I think that must be a subtraction problem. So I'm going to write it down on my board. 45, I had 45 cupcakes, but then I ate 13 of them. Okay, so you can see the light there, it's reflecting. So I ate 13 of them. So I think it's a subtraction calculation. So then what I'd like you to do is to prove what the answer is by using all of the methods that we've already looked at, remembering that you can do it in your head if you want to, if you feel confident to do that, but I still want to see the other methods to show proof that you've got your answer correct, and also it's helping you to check your work, which all good mathematicians do. Right, so I'm going to do some jottings first. So I'm going to start with 45 on there. Now 45 has got 1, 2, 3, 4 tens in there, and it's also got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones. So I've done my 45, and now I'm going to look at the 13 cupcakes that I've got to take away. So that's one group of 10 and 3 ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the 10, and then I'm going to cross off 1, 2, 3 ones, which leaves me with 10, 20, 30, 31, 32 cupcakes left. So there'll be plenty left for my supper. Okay, so the answer is 32. Then what you could do is then prove that again with an empty number line. And as we've practiced lots of times before, we start at the opposite end of the number line than what we did when we were doing addition, because when we're subtracting, we're counting back and numbers are getting less. So I'm going to put 45 just here. Okay, and then I'm going to take away 1 10. So that's one jump of 10. And I'm going to write take away 10 at the top so that you can see what my calculation is. Okay, now when I take 10 away from 45, my 5 is going to stay the same because I'm only taking away a 10. I'm not taking away the ones. So the 4 is going to change. So instead of 4 tens, I'm only going to have 3 tens. So 10 less than 45 is going to be 35. Then I've got to take away my 3 ones. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we've started our 35. Don't worry, children, about having to write in all of the other numbers here, because sometimes it can get to be a real squash and a squeeze, and it can get you all tricked out when you're trying to do your calculating. So start here. 1 less is 34, 33, 32. So the answer is still 32. Okay. So let's see if we can go back to those problems now and see if we can find another one to have a look at. Rub that off the board. Right, so let's have a look at a different one now. Right, I'm going to have a look at Miss Allen did 78 star jumps in her daily challenge, but then once she'd had a rest, she did 16 more. Well done, Miss Allen. How many star jumps did Miss Allen do altogether? So if she had 78 8 star jumps to begin with, and then she did even more, I don't think that could be a takeaway, children, could it? So I think this time it must be an add. The number's going to get bigger because Miss Allen did even more star jumps. So I'm going to write down 78 plus 16 more. That's what Miss Allen did, just on there, okay? Now I'm going to do a couple of methods on this one because you'll see on here, look, we've got 8 ones here and we've got 6. So that's going to go over a 10. So there's another method that we have used that I'm going to remind you about to help us with this one. So the first one then, we go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I need to make my 16. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then I could add all of that up. So I've got 70, 80, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94. But there's lots of steps in doing that, which means that it could be quite easy to go wrong somewhere. So probably the most effective way for you to have a go at working this out is by doing a written method that I think I did on Dojo a little while ago for you. So what we would do is we would start by adding the tens together. So 7 tens is 70, and then 1 10 is 10, so that's 80. And then I'm going to add the ones together. So that's 8, add 6. Now 8 adds 6. Well, I know that 8 and 2 is 10. So if I take 2 from that, that's going to leave another 4, isn't it? So from knowing my number facts, I know that the answer to that is going to be 14. If you're not sure and you couldn't use your number facts in the way that Miss Eckett's just done it, what you could do is you could put 8 in your head and carry on and count on 6 more. So now I've added the tens together and I've got 80. I've added the ones together and I've got 14. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put both of them back together again. So I'm going to have 80, add 14. Now I can use the place value skills that we've learned at the beginning of year 2 to help me to do that really, really easily, because 80 add 1 more 10 is 90, and 90 and 4 is 94, which makes it much quicker. So if it goes over the tens boundary, that's how you could work it out, couldn't you? Right, so I've shown you there an example of an adding problem and a taking away problem. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to post those problems to you on the Dojo. See if you can work your way through them, decide which one's an adding problem, which one's a taking away problem, write down the calculation, work it out, and then see if you can use some jottings to prove to Miss Eckett that you've got the answer right. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Bye.